Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo Breakdown, we're going to be talking about a martial arts instructor who also believes that he has supernatural psychic abilities and also knows the Damak.
What the hell is a Damak?
Let's find out what that is in today's breakdown.
The Damak death touch is using your ability to injure the person, but Damak is more life-death situation. Kill somebody with one finger, one touch. When you get advanced with the quick touching, you're using less effort and less force to get somebody to I didn't go into your organ, and I didn't trap it in your organ. I let it go through your feet, through your body.
It felt like a condensing, like inside, but then you like released it.
When you're able to get into a person like this, if I want to go to his organs, I can. I can go to his lungs, I can go to his heart. But it can be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why they call it death touch. I'll create an energy blockage there and leave it there. And within a few days, the person can die.
Death touch. The guy you just got done watching in that video goes by the name of Sifu Amin Johnny, and we're just going to go ahead and call him Sifu AJ for short. Now, Sifu AJ has been doing martial arts, he claims, for over 35 years. This dude looks pretty young, so I'm imagining this is how his martial arts training probably started.
Oh, she looks like she's going to do karate. Look at her, she's like going to do karate.
What's really sad here is that these guys actually do teach children some of the nonsense that I'm going to be showing you today. So keep that in mind when you think about how cults are formed and how cult leaders are made. As I was scrolling through his YouTube channel, I noticed he actually knows two people that we already did a breakdown about, Max Reeder and Alex Krakalinik. I'll make sure at the end of this video, the video that is suggested at the end is of that breakdown so you guys can check out what we did and talked about those people. This guy claims that he can teach you a lot of things. Here's a couple things that he claims. He claims that he could teach you atmokinesis, which is the ability to control the weather. He teaches aerokinesis, which is the ability to control the wind. He teaches telekinesis, like he can move things with his mind. He teaches pyrokinesis, not just the ability to be able to manipulate fire, but actually produce fire with your mind. And finally, he teaches you how to levitate. That is a lot of kinesises. Kinesis. Anyway, he teaches you a lot of kinesis. In one of his videos, he claims that you have the power to actually break clouds apart with your mind.
This is a demonstration on atmokinesis. I am going to dissolve these two clouds right here in front of me. Pretty much all you do is put your focus and attention onto the clouds and send energy to it.
Where have we seen that before, where there's somebody who can control the weather with their mind? In another video, he's teaching you how to use your mind to create wind and control the wind through aerokinesis.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you guys the easiest way to do aerokinesis. There's a lot of wind outside going right now, and for me to influence that is very easy. I mean, honestly, if there's a lot of wind outside, the only thing you gotta do is just wave your hands.
So, I guess you've never fought an airbender before.
Can't forget pyrokinesis. It's very important to be able to start fires with your mind.
This is dangerous. You'll kill somebody doing this.
Where have we seen that before, where there's somebody who could start a fire with their mind? My two favorite, though, are the telekinesis and the levitation. And the reason why those are my two favorite is because you get to go deep into some of the old school con men in the martial arts industry, which was James Heydrich and Ashita Kim. Ashita Kim, by the way, we have an emoji for if you remember. In his telekinesis demonstration, you can actually see him moving pages of a book with what he claims is telekinesis.
Redundant? Much redundant?
If this sounds extremely familiar to you, it should, because he is not the first person in the martial arts industry to claim that they can move things with their mind. James Heydrich back in the day was on a show with the Amazing Randy, and the Amazing Randy debunked him, and he proved that it wasn't telekinesis whatsoever. It was actually just him blowing air out of his mouth. Later on, James Heydrich himself even admitted to the trick and told people how to do the trick.
It's called power of suggestion. Once you get a person to actually believe he can do something, then perhaps he can do it. I'm doing. First of all, I'm not going like that, because that can be seen. I am taking air from inside and causing it to come out in a way to where nothing here shows. And if you can get the camera on my face, and you see this leave, it moves, but nothing here moves.
The levitation thing, again, is nothing new to a martial arts fraud. Back in the day, Ashita Kim claimed that he could levitate, which his version of levitation, at least he showed. As far as I can tell, all I can find about the guy we're talking about today, this Sifu AJ, is that he talks about how to do it. But the guy who actually tried to show you how to do it was Ashita Kim, and it looked a little something like this. In one of his videos about telekinesis, he's showing that he folds paper and that he's pulling it with his mind. Well, funny enough, I actually did the same experiment. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can do the same thing he did. All right, so in his experiment, he takes a piece of paper, all right? He folds that piece of paper in half, and then he sets it down on his counter, and then he uses his hand to move it using his telekinesis powers. He focuses on the paper and he's able to move it without actually touching it. So let me see if I could recreate that using my telekinesis powers. Let's see. I'm not touching the paper. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm just going to pull and see what happens. Oh. Not touching it. Voila! Telekinesis powers. Clearly not telekinesis powers. It's just the wind. If you take a piece of paper and you fold it in half and set it down and move your hand while it's close to the paper will move. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Yet this guy is still selling this snake oil. Here, you can buy one of his courses. The scary part to me about all this, though, which I kind of mentioned before, is the fact that these guys actually teach children. That's right. They actually host martial arts classes where they're teaching children how to do these abilities, how to have telekinesis powers, and how to harness their chi and push people across the room without barely touching them. It is terrifying. They've created a cult, basically. And what's really crazy is that these type of cults, they'll constantly be pulling in member here, a member there, a member here, a member there. And it takes a little bit of time, but after a while, they've created a nice large network for themselves. And that's one of the scariest parts is, like I said, if he claimed earlier that he had been training for like 35 years, it means he was probably training as a little child, if that's true whatsoever, because it's hard to believe con men like this. But that means that he was indoctrinated into a belief structure before he could actually process what was going on as an adult. These children are being indoctrinated into a life of nonsense and mysticism, and they're just going to be taken advantage of. And what really kills me at the end of the day with people like this is that if you can't do what they say you can do, it's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. As a matter of fact, it's your fault. You're not doing it correctly, or your ability isn't harnessed enough, or you need to try harder, which basically means you need to pay more. Let's just be honest. This dude's a 5 out of 5 Dillmans, right? This dude is 5 out of 5 Dillmans. He's claiming that he has supernatural abilities. He's teaching children that they could have supernatural abilities. He's selling this as courses. I wish that this was a parody. I wish these people weren't real, but they are. These people exist in this world, and they're looking to take advantage of somebody, and they're currently doing it. I can't wait to hear what your comments say in the comment sections below. If you're a member, please make sure you drop your own Dillmans. I want to know what you guys think about this dude. Whether it be Dillmans or Ashita Kims or Frank Dukes, it doesn't matter. I want to know how you rate these guys and what your thoughts are. Thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and all that other crap people online tell you to do. Keep the martial arts legit.